Hey guys, so in this video I'm going to be talking to you guys about how to write a summary. So before you even start writing, there are certain steps that you should take to make sure you're planning ahead and taking effective notes to help you write your summary. The very first step is you want to pre-read. So take 2 to 3 minutes and just very quickly skim the text, paying attention to things like the title of the article and keywords or anything that stands out at you, so you can start making predictions about the text. So when you actually get into reading it in more depth, you're going to kind of be more active because you're seeing if your predictions actually panned out or if the text took a different turn, etc. So pre-reading will help to prepare you to be more engaged with the text when you're reading it more carefully. Next, you're going to read the text more carefully, highlighting important information and taking notes. And you can cross out any supporting details or examples so that you're not overwhelmed with information. Earlier in the semester, I had posted another lecture video on how to take notes and how to annotate your text. So feel free to review that video if you want more specific details on the types of notes that you should be taking. Next, in your own words, you're going to write down the main points of each paragraph or section and don't include minor details. So it's helpful to write down the main points next to the paragraph, and this will make things easier for you when you're reviewing the text. So when you are reviewing the text, when you're ready to write your summary, you can look at your notes that you've written next to each paragraph instead of reading the text multiple times. And that will help to reduce the risk of you using the author's words since you are reviewing your notes, and it will prevent you having to read the text multiple times. And then finally, you're going to review the text one last time before you start writing your summary. So here are some things that you should include in your summary. First, you want to mention the author's full name, the title of the article, and the main idea. Then you want to be objective. So do not include your opinions or use a subjective tone. Don't write what you think about the author's ideas or judge the author's ideas or anything of the sort. In a summary, you're mostly reporting on what the author said, so your summary should be more objective. Next, use a third person point of view and past tense. So you won't say I or me, which is first person, or you or your, which is second person. Because you're reporting on what the author said, you will be using third person. So you'll use their names or he stated, she stated, etc. And you're writing in past tense like argued, contended, because that's required in APA format. You're also going to write in your own words, so do not use the words of the author you are summarizing. Again, writing a brief summary of each paragraph or section next to that section will be super helpful in using your own words instead of the author's words, because you can just review your summary of each paragraph. Please note, do not state the author's ideas as if they're your own. And this can be a little tricky to balance your own words while making it clear that it's the author's ideas, so be careful. So what I find helpful is I read the text, take notes, and then I review the text one more time and I review my notes, and then I put the text away. And I write a summary of the article just based on my own memory instead of sitting there with the text next to me and going back and forth between it. Because if I go back and forth and look at the text while I'm writing my summary, I might end up using the author's words. So you have to say like, according to Smith, and then use your own words, or Smith argued and use your own words to explain Smith's ideas. And you want to present only the main points of the article and be concise. So try not to include supporting evidence that the author used. Just try to report on the main points. Here is an example of a sample summary. So I summarized this article that's called Catching Your Past Life Murderer. And I will post this to your course page so you can read it if you would like to. So this article is about 2 pages long, as you can see, but when I summarized it, my summary is about a paragraph long. So I've cut down on the article, and my summary represents about 1/3 of the length of the article. So keep that in mind when you're writing a summary. It should be about 1/3 of the length of the article. And remember, in my previous when I was talking about what to include in your summary, the very first thing you want to include is mention the author's full name, the title of the article, and the main idea. So as you can see here, I said, in the article Catching Your Past Life Murderer, Rebecca Watson discussed the latest way that people are trying to prove that reincarnation exists by Googling the date that they died. So I included the title of the article, the author's name, and very briefly the main point or the general idea of the article. So I will not read this paragraph to you. Feel free to pause the video and read the article, and then read my summary of the article, just to kind of compare and see the types of information that I excluded and the information that I included. But basically, I excluded a lot of very small supporting details, and I tried to focus more on the main ideas that were discussed in this article.